I have made 3 attempts. This is the 3rd attempt to record my morning musings. It means my thoughts are a little bit scattered, and I lose my train of thought. I lose my channeling. But I'm gonna try again. I checked out a couple of videos on YouTube this morning. It was about the planned media assassination of Russell Brand, because he is quite an influential voice in the alternative community. But what it reminded me of is a saying that we read and attribute to Jesus having said, and that is, "I am not of this world. You are of this world. I am not of this world. I am from above." Or one could say, "I am from within." And what puts us in the world, but not of the world, is an invisible consciousness. To be in the world is to be in the arena of ego. To be from above, or to be from within, is to be of the consciousness of soul, spirit. Being human, being in physicality, doesn't mean you are of the world. What makes us of this world is if we buy into the system and we take our place in the system and in the boxing arena of ego, where we have to fight for everything, fight for our rights, fight for our freedoms. You don't have to fight for freedoms, really, but I know this is going to be controversial for some people. But when you live from above, when you live from within, instead of identifying being a citizen of the world or of your ego world, when you live from it within or above, you don't have to fight for anything, because the universe or God has your back, and everything comes to you effortlessly. I know this isn't going to make sense to those who try and figure it out with their mind, but that is the mystery and the beauty of what is called the kingdom of God. That is what outlines the difference between the quote-unquote world and the kingdom of God, or the kingdom of the divine, the soul, the spirit. Everything in the world takes effort and hard work and toiling. That's the parable about Adam and Eve being thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Everything here, everything in the world of ego revolves around toiling and the sweat of your brow. Everything is difficult in the world. And if you identify as a citizen of the world, of the ego system, of the ego consciousness, you're going to have a fight on your hands, because you're fighting a million other egos that also want their rights and their way. But not being of this world, but being of the spirit and of the soul instead, makes this life effortless. Everything that is for you comes to you effortlessly. It has to do with quantum energetic science. Manifesting things out of thin air, literally. And it's outside of the arena of toiling and the sweat of your brow. You can't figure your way into that, nor can it be explained, nor can it be taught. It's an encounter that one has to experience at their heart and soul level, deep within. It can't be figured with the mind. The mind is the world. But it's becoming more and more my experience that what's going on around in the world is not affecting my personal space. And that's where true freedom is. You have sort of checked out of the ego, out of the world, and you've checked into your higher consciousness, that you're above the boxing ring of the ego, above the playing field of the ego, of the mental gymnastics, the sweat and the toiling, and the thistles and the briars. And living from that higher awareness makes life easy. You don't have to fight for anything. You certainly don't have to fight for freedom, because it is who you are. It's not something that you have. It is who you are. You are free. You are a free soul. And you can live as a free soul if you choose to identify as soul rather than your ego. Like, my life is really effortless. Everything my soul desires comes to me freely. All I have to do is think of it and imagine it, and next thing you know, it shows up for me. The universe arranges the situations in life to accommodate my desires. I smell smoke. There's a fire here somewhere. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry about the interruption. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. Freedom is not something you have to fight for. Once you get into the arena of fighting, you have already abdicated that which is yours by universal law. You have to start living from the universe's perspective, not the lower perspective of this world, where you're just going to be toiling by the sweat of your brow, and everything will just be so difficult. So anyways, just some thoughts here. I'm interrupted by noises and by smoke, and I hope you get something from this rant, this ramble. Have a good day, and meditate on what it means to not be of the world, to be in the world but not of it. Don't identify with the hardship. Your life doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be. But because we believe it has to be, then, well, we have to live in that reality, right? So, trust. Trust that all good things are meant for you and will come to you, and that you deserve them because it's who you are. It's not what you have to work for, it's who you are.